I did a 3-part. Well, I did 2 other videos prior to this. I think this is my last one, unless I can find more. But I don't think there is more from my perspective. I don't think there's more. That was worthless testimony that came from the investigative part. So the reason why I'm doing this is to highlight testimonies we don't need at the trial. We've seen the shit show at the preliminary, and we pretty much just don't need it twice. That's pretty much why I'm doing this. So I'm going to replay one of the testimonies that I feel as though is useless, and I'm also going to be looking at the transcripts as well, just to make sure that I'm not missing anything and make sure everything is pretty much covered. So today, part 3 goes to Border Patrol Agent Wyatt Barnes. Come on down to the Hall of Shame for worthless testimony, sir. I feel as though this testimony was not the best. There was a lot of nothing, pretty much. You can look at his demeanor and see his disposition on the stand. He pretty much didn't want to be there. He looked hungover from what I took from it. He looked hungover, like he didn't want to be there. His body language just gave he didn't want to be there. His testimony pretty much was not the best. There were things that he do get some points for some of the things that he did do, but I also want to point out some of the things that he did not do. And I feel as though that he should have done because he did at the time had the manpower to do so. So what I'm going to do now is pull up his testimony. But before I do get into that, I do want to say a quick disclaimer, copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, commentary, news reporting, scholarship, and research. And my also personal disclaimer, I am not a licensed practicing attorney and cannot and will not give you legal advice. This is all just legal commentary, by the way. So give me a second so I can pull up the trial for you, or the preliminary. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started.
And I'm going to request permission to share my screen again.
Okay, good morning. Good morning. You swear to tell us your whole truth and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Just watch your step.
Thanks.
And then you can pull that whole microphone off of the ledge once you sit down.
Look at this fool with this dirty ass mask we had on for months.
Whenever you're ready.
So I'm gonna pause it right here because let's just talk about the sunglasses, sir. It's like 40 fucking degrees in Michigan at the time because this took place in January of this year, and you got sunglasses on like it's like you're going to the beach. On top of that, you look tired and hungover, and it looked like you got bedhead, like you just rolled up out the bed, like you just threw on some clothes and came to court. But let's just go ahead and get into his testimony real quick. But notice the body language that I'm saying and his disposition and demeanor is going to tell like he really didn't care, or it was just like nonchalant, like it was like lazy attitude he was giving.
Good morning. Could you please state your name for the record?
Name's Wyatt Barnes.
And how are you employed?
I work for the United States Border Patrol.
And how long have you been employed by the U.S. Border Patrol?
14 years and change.
And were you working back on March 12th of 2024?
Yes.
And in what capacity were you working?
I was working in a search and rescue capacity. That's our primary job, or my primary job.
Okay. And were you working alone or with a partner or a group of people?
With a team. There was a sizable team that day.
And what is it that you guys were doing?
We were responding to a missing person
Okay.
in that area.
And which area are we talking about? Where were you at?
7 Mile and Berg.
Okay. And what was your role in searching the 7 Mile and Berg area?
I was searching the riverbank of the River Rouge. We were searching south along the bank. I was on the east side of the bank in the 7 Mile Berg area.
Okay. And when you were searching this area, was there anything in particular that you were told to look for?
Just nothing solid, but there were just some like child-sized clothing things, just anything that could have been washed up on the riverbank. There was a storm recently, so
So let me pause it right here. So he just testified that he was not looking for anything in particular. However, you testified that you pretty much left a whole bunch of clothing article that you were supposed to have gathered everything. If you didn't have anything in particular that you were looking for, why not collect every piece of item that you could possibly get? Because you definitely had the manpower. And he's going to go ahead and further say that in his testimony. But let me just go ahead and play it so you guys can hear it.
we were in the water and on the riverbanks.
Okay. So you're kind of looking for maybe some child-sized clothing.
Yes.
Okay. And did you come across any clothing that you thought maybe would fit a description?
Yes.
Okay. And where was that at?
That was south of 7 Mile and Berg, near a abandoned structure next to a dirt parking lot. About, I can't give an exact distance, maybe 50 feet off the river.
Okay. And when you find articles of clothing, what is it that you do in your role?
So there's a lot of stuff that might be washed up. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to age it and make sure that it is something that could possibly be related. And then I'm going to just immediately report a picture to the incident command so that they can send people to properly inspect it.
Okay. And when you say age, what do you mean by aging?
Just to make sure that it hasn't obviously been in the brush for years, or it's not some garbage that washed up. That's all.
Okay. And in this search in particular, what was kind of the time frame that you were supposed to be like using to age?
Recent, not like within a month or two.
Okay.
So it would still look new.
Okay. And so when you find items, you said that you age them and then you kind of report them to incident command.
Yes.
Okay. And how is it that you report them? Do you go at like a walkie-talkie? Do you call them on the phone?
Via radio.
Okay.
Yeah, via radio, and then there's usually some type of a chat, but I wasn't communicating directly on the chat. I just kind of forwarded the photos to a supervisor who then gave the photos to the incident commander.
Okay.
And they would divvy those out to the detectives.
Okay. And what is it that you found in this case?
I found I don't know if this is the right term for it, but like a onesie.
Okay.
It was mostly balled up in the brush with a shoe inside of it. And so I pulled I didn't know it was clothing at the time, but I pulled it out of the brush just to kind of open it up and see what it was. And then once I saw that it was clothing with the shoe inside, I just reported it to the incident command.
Okay. And when you're touching these items, are you wearing gloves?
Yes.
Do you recall, describe the onesie, color, size, anything like that?
Pink.
Okay.
Honestly, the size, small.
And what about the shoes? The shoe that you got.
It was a small Nike shoe.
Okay.
And
And sorry.
it was inside the onesie, which was inside out.
Okay. Okay. And were you instructed to recover those at the time?
Like bag them and bring them somewhere?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No, that wasn't.
Were you? How do you, I guess, convey to some?
So I'm gonna pause it. If you were not instructed to recover these items, what made these particular items stand out to you, sir? And it just shows that you left these items there to be tampered with, right? That's what I'm getting. But yeah, let me just go ahead.
Size, anything like that?
Pink. Honestly, the size, I don't. Small.
And what about the shoes? Or shoe that you
It was a
sorry.
small Nike shoe.
Okay.
And
And sorry.
it was inside the onesie, which was inside out.
Okay. And were you instructed to recover those at the time?
Like bag them and bring them somewhere?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No, that wasn't.
Were you? How do you, I guess, convey to someone where at these items are?
GPS coordinates.
Okay. And did you author like a paragraph report in this case?
Yes.
Okay. And did you include coordinates in that report?
Yes, and they were incorrect in that report. I just went over it yesterday. I do have the correct coordinates if you guys want those.
Okay. Yes. Could you please provide us with the correct coordinates?
Yes.
And is there something that you're going to be using to refresh your memory?
I have a piece of paper here.
Okay.
So the coordinates that were provided in the paper were for the incident command. These coordinates are very close to where that piece of clothing was found.
Okay.
Their decimal degrees: 42.426693.
Okay.
Negative 83.268497.
Okay. So the coordinates that are in your report are where incident command was kind of set up.
That's the incident command, yes.
Okay. I'm going to show you what's already admitted as People's Exhibit 14. And I'm going to show just some specific pictures from that. We're looking at picture 63 here. Tell me, do you recognize anything in this photo?
Yes.
What is it that you recognize?
The pink article of clothing in the shoe.
Okay. And when you initially saw these items, is that how you saw them?
No, they were just balled up in the brush, just kind of stuffed in there.
Okay.
So
Sorry, continue.
I pulled them out and set them that way so the detectives would see it.
Okay. So I'm going to go to photo 69. Is this the shoe that you had found that was inside the leg of the pink jumpsuit? Or
Yes.
onesie? Okay.
Yes, it is.
And 67. Is this
Yep.
also a photo of them just from the behind?
Yes.
Okay, and you're the one who kind of took them apart and placed them separately like that.
I did.
Okay.
Yes.
And did you do anything else as it relates to this case?
No.
And nothing further, Judge. Oh, sorry, 1 minute. Oh, the coordinates that you gave, are those latitude, longitude?
Yes. Yep.
Nothing further, Judge.
Okay.
Well, decimal degrees. So.
Ms. Quick?
Thank you.
Agent Barnes, you said that you were taking part in a search of the area of 7 Mile and Bird. Was that, how large of an area was it?
I probably searched at that point not quite half a mile of river at that point. So not a
And,
huge area.
and you said you were part of a team?
Yes.
About how many people were out there?
There was multiple counties out there assisting in the search. Honestly, I couldn't give you an exact number. Probably several dozen.
7 dozen?
Several dozen.
Several
There
dozen.
was.
So I'm gonna pause it. He just said that there were several dozen. He had a huge team out there. So my thing is, with that amount of manpower that you had at that particular time, y'all should have been able to gather all of the items that was out there, regardless of what you were coming out there for. You should have collected everything, and then you actually left something behind, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm gonna go ahead and resume it for you guys.
Different teams assigned to different parts of the river.
So different people were assigned to, or different teams were assigned to one like half-mile location, another half-mile location, or coordinates, I guess.
Yes, even smaller than that, smaller sections than that. Yeah, just to keep guys fresh.
And was it like a coordinated effort then to kind of sweep this area?
Yes,
So you're just walking like in a straight line, or
for the most part.
can you describe kind of how that looks?
Yeah. So in the river, I'll go from the river to the banks. So in the river, you have different teams wearing dry suits, using technology, looking for anything that resembles a body, and then sticks to kind of push stuff loose. And then they're searching the log jams in the river. Then you have guys on the edge of the river because the water level was high. So we wanted to cover the river banks as well, which the water level was high and had become lower.
I swear, to me, he just looked tired, hungover, and like he don't want to be there. That's just what I'm getting from. That's what I'm getting from his testimony.
Then you have teams on the banks, and then teams kind of doing an S pattern along the river edge to make sure they cover as much ground as possible.
Thank you. And so you said that on this particular day, the water level was high?
No, the water level was high the week prior or so. So we wanted to make sure that we covered the river banks where the water was.
So this is the cross-examination from Jarvis's lawyer, and her line of questioning is not really relevant, but I'm trying to see where she's going with it. Maybe she's trying to paint a picture, but you're losing me in the sauce with the line of questioning. But I'm gonna go ahead and continue it.
The water was back to its normal level.
Was there a way to tell where the water level had been previously? Is there a way to mark that?
Sometimes it's just where debris gets caught up in the brush. It was maybe a foot higher, but it wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it was you personally that saw the pink onesie first, or the pink thing that you initially saw?
Yes.
Did you take pictures of it, how it looked when you initially found it?
I didn't. No.
Would you normally do something like that?
There's just so much stuff. I wasn't taking, it would taken all day if I'd taken a picture of everything I found. So. Wow. See, that's what I said. I'm gonna pause it right there because he just told everything that we needed to know. He said it would take all day to gather everything that they needed to, that they saw out there. But my point is that you had the manpower with all these people. You had several dozen agents on your team. So why not take that time to collect everything? And you are supposed to take pictures of it, but you didn't. But he didn't even answer that question. He just overlooked that. And his lawyer caught that. So, but yeah, hold on.
So
you stopped and kind of moved it, manipulated it.
I pulled it up to inspect it, noted that it was worthy of reporting, set it back down, radioed it in.
Okay. And how far did you set it down from the location where you initially located
Same
it?
spot.
Exact same spot?
Same brush.
Okay. And you said that part of what you do is kind of to note approximately how long it looks like it's been out there.
Yeah.
And in this particular case, what was it that you kind of found or thought when you noticed it?
There was no discoloration from the sun. You know, typically if something sits outside for a while, the sun's going to change the color that it sees, and then underneath it's going to be a different color. There was no discoloration in the article of clothing. So, and that can happen in weeks. And it's pretty quick. Depending on how much sun there is. There was no evidence of animals getting in it. There was no significant dirt. It looked very fresh.
Okay. Did you find or see any other clothing other than the shoe in that area?
Very old clothing, years old.
Like what, for example?
Maybe just old coats, but it was nothing pertinent. Things that were
Many
under
old
layers
coats?
of lots. Yeah, I mean, there's
But you would not know if anything was not was or was not pertinent for you, sir, because you didn't collect anything to get it analyzed. You're just doing that from a bird's eye view, saying that these clothing is old. But you should have gathered everything. That's the whole point, and that's the point what Jarvis's lawyer is trying to raise. He picked and chose what items to get, but he left some items there, and he didn't collect it right away. At the same time, you had a bunch of clothing out there, more kid clothes probably, but you chose not to because you said it would take all day. You didn't do your job, sir. Not thoroughly, in my opinion, but okay.
there's a fair amount of debris.
In that
Under-
general area, in that half-mile area that you were scanning?
Yes.
Okay. Once. Anything else? Thank you.
Just briefly, Jen. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, he's in a hurry because
Given,
he don't want to be there.
That you photographed these and alerted these, did these, the pink onesie and the shoe, those matched your aging description that you were following?
There was no age necessarily, if that's what you mean. Like they hadn't been out there for a long period of time.
Nothing pretty good.
Thank you.
All right, so that was his testimony. I kind of felt like it was useless. All I gave him credit for was finding the pink onesie in the shoe, but you should have gathered more evidence than that. You could have collected all the clothing items that you saw out there with your team. You had the manpower at that time, and a lot of times that'd be the issue that DPD be trying to raise, is that they don't have the manpower, but you actually had federal agents and local law enforcement at the same time that was out there. So that should have been gathered and collected, and you pretty much should have took photographs of what you saw, but you didn't, and you left items there and came back to get it, pretty much allowing things to be tampered with. You don't know who could have tampered with it. Could it be wildlife, or could it be somebody that was out there just perusing, or just being somebody out there just going through the woods or through the area of 7 Mile and Bird. But I just wanted to point out the lack of testimony and the lack of effort that they pretty much put into this investigation. And yeah, but that's all I got for you guys. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're not. Hit the thumbs up button. That's all I got. I'll be back later, probably with another video, with another maybe two witnesses. I'm not sure yet, but yeah, that's all I got for you folks. Peace. Have a good one. I'm out.